Saudi Arabia scaling back on several of its ties with Iran. This after Iranian protesters attacked the Saudi embassy and consulate over the weekend. Now, this violence coming after Saudi Arabia executed a Shiite cleric along with 46 other convicted of terror charges. Here with me now, Major General Robert Scales, Walid Phares, and Tammy Bruce. You know, Walid Phares, I want to start with you because the way I read it, the overwhelming majority of those executed were Sunnis, not Shiites. They were all considered to be terrorists who had, Saudi Arabia considered threats. Now, their legal system's not our legal system, but is this enough to increase what's already a very, very tender situation in the region?
Well, the situation has been on for many months, many years. There was a Cold War, sometimes low-intensity conflict between the Saudi-led coalition. I mean, remember, the Saudis are fighting a pro-Iranian militias, the Houthis in Yemen. They are backing militias in Iraq and in Syria fighting against the Assad regime, against Hezbollah. So they were basically against each other on the ground. The only difference is that they were not directly at each other's throat. Now it is happening. The escalation is happening between Iran and Saudi Arabia. But I think there will be limitations. They're not going to go completely on the ground in action because they know it's dangerous for both of them.
Of course, we can't forget that war between Iraq and Iran. That was just a senseless multi-year war that saw hundreds of thousands dead. No one really ever get the upper hand. But General Scales, these are the two main players there. They have nudged closer towards a direct confrontation, and it feels like, even though it sounds crazy, that maybe it's inevitable.
Oh, not only is it inevitable, Charles, but it's escalating. I may be going out on a limb here, but I just see this as a tipping point in the Middle East. We talk about gray wars. Well, this has gone beyond just a gray war. It's gone beyond ISIS versus the West. This has now become what, in essence, is a regional sectarian civil war. And what happened yesterday is going to have implications that doesn't just affect Saudi Arabia and Iran, but it's going to affect our war against ISIS. It's going to prolong the Syrian civil war. No, the consequences of this, Charles, are going to be enormous in the long term.
Tammy, I found it interesting that Secretary of State Kerry called Iran to sort of appease them. This, of course, a week after they test-fired a missile within 1,000 yards of one of our ships. It's just, what the heck is going on? Why the appeasement of Iran every day?
Well, look, and this is right on the heels when we've said that there won't be any sanctions because of what they've done with the missiles. But keep in mind, I think it's the nuke deal that sent the message to Saudi Arabia that no matter what they do in the region, it's going to be okay with us. That's all we've wanted. We are not going to react to anything else. This is Saudi Arabia realizing that they must take action now because they've got no one that has their back. Iran, of course, is allied with Russia in the region there. They are dealing, as your guest noted, with a proxy war now in Yemen, fighting the Houthi rebels. And they now have to make a stand and make a statement effectively to Iran. This is what we're doing. They've got their allies now. And the Obama administration is completely missing the disaster of what this will be for that entire region. That is where inexperience, immaturity, and self-obsession come in, and it's going to affect the entire world.
Walid, Bahrain, Sudan, United Arab Emirates all joining with Saudi Arabia. Someone mentioned the Houthis earlier. I don't know that the air campaign is going to win. A ceasefire was just scuttled over there. If ultimately Saudi Arabia has to send troops in Yemen, is it possible that Iran could counter? Could that be the sort of spark where they actually come face to face and take this to a whole nother level?
You just nailed it, because one of the major reasons for why Iran is putting pressure on the Saudis, why Iran was backing those networks operating in eastern Saudi Arabia, an area with a Shia majority, because the Saudis and the UAE and their allies have pushed the pro-Iranian militias from Aden all the way to Sana'a. This is a way to stop them, to tell them, if you push forward, we will push inside your kingdom.
Let's hope so, guys. Thank you both very much, all three of you, and of course,